All right, so SDS just finished their live stream, and it was a long one, man. It was like 45 minutes. They revealed some stuff, but overall, they really didn't talk about like all that much. They mainly spent 90% of the stream just talking about the finest vote, talking about each team individually, so that took up a good chunk of time. They did reveal that one of the new signature teams rewards is going to be a 98 overall Ron Guidry, who actually looks pretty good. I'm excited for that card, so I'll be getting him on Friday, or maybe not on Friday because my sister's getting married this weekend, so it might be a little tough for me. But other than that, there wasn't really anything other than the finest that they talked about. So let's go ahead and talk about finest. So basically, the way they're doing finest this year is going to be a little bit different than they've done it in the years past. In the years past, they basically just take, 20 guys that had the best seasons in the league, and they basically gave them a card reflecting that current season. This year, they're doing the same thing. There are going to be 17 cards, they said, that are locks. Okay, so a guy like Kirby Yates is going to be a lock for a finest card this year, right? And then they're going to be opening up a vote to us, the community, for one card from each of the 30 teams in the major leagues. So right now, if you go to the link in my description, you go to that Show Nation link, you can go ahead and vote for all 30 teams, one player from each team, and whoever wins the vote from each team will be getting a finest card when the program actually comes out, probably in like later October. And I think this is kind of a cool way to do it. They are still doing finest the normal way, which, is giving all the players who deserve a finest card, they're getting theirs. But it also lets us have some input too, and I think that's a really, really cool strategy they're implementing into this release of finest. So once again, if you go to the link in my description, at the top of the screen, there is this thing that says vote for the finest on this yellow bar. Just go ahead and click that link, and then it'll take you to this page where you can go ahead and vote for everybody. But one thing to keep in mind, like I said, there is 17 locks. So they used the Padres as an example. You guys can see right here, Manny Machado, Chris Paddock, and Fernando Tatis Jr. are the three locks the three votes for the San Diego Padres. But Kirby Yates had the best season of the Padres. He's a lock to get one, if that makes sense. So just because you don't see the guy you think you would vote for doesn't mean that he's not getting one. He might already be in the program itself. So just keep that in mind when you're voting. But I wanted to go ahead and give you guys my picks for the finest. You get to vote one time, and the voting for this ends September 30th at 11:59 Pacific time. So I'm going to go ahead and get going. So I'm going to start it off with the Baltimore Orioles. Their three picks are Jonathan Villar, Trey Mancini, and John Means. John Means, he was the lone all-star for the Orioles this year. I think it'd be cool to give him a card, but I'm not going to vote for him. Jonathan Villar just got a Diamond Tops Now card, so I kind of want to see Trey Mancini get a really good card, kind of a juiced diamond hitting card. His defense wouldn't be all that good, but I think he'd be a fun card to use, so I'm going to vote for Trey Mancini. Next up, we've got the Boston Red Sox. We've got Devers, Brandon Workman, and Mookie Betts. I would assume Xander Bogaerts is probably a lock, so that's why he's not in there. Rafael Devers already has the 88 overall player of the month. Mookie has like a 90 something live series. I still think I'm going to vote Rafael Devers, though. That left-handed bat who can play the infield, I think, is a pretty good thing. So I'm going to vote for Devers, even though he does already have like an 88 overall diamond. For the Yankees, we've got Gio Urshela, Gary Sanchez, and Gleyber Torres, three guys that had extremely good seasons over in the Bronx. For this one, I'm going to go Gary because Gleyber and Gio both have Tops Now or Player of the Month diamonds already. Gio has 2 Player of the Month cards in this game. Gary Sanchez hasn't really gotten any love other than his Gold Live Series card, and I think if you juice him up to a diamond for a finest card, I think he'd be a really fun one to use. So I'm going to go with Gary. For the Rays, we've got Emilio Pagan, Tommy Pham, and Austin Meadows. I don't really care about any of these 3 cards, to be honest. Austin Meadows does already have a Player of the Month, but I'm going to go with him again just because I feel like I would have the most fun using him. I don't really care who had a better season between any of these 3 guys. That's just the pick I want to go with. I'm being honest. Sorry, Rays fans. And last but not least, we've got Ken Giles, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., and Bo Bichette from the Toronto Blue Jays. I think a lot of people are probably going to be making the same pick on this one. I think most of us are going to go with Bo Bichette. I know he has the 90 overall Future Stars card, but he's, Bo Bichette, the flow, he's so much fun to use. I gotta go with Bo Bichette here. Moving over to the American League Central, we've got Yohan Moncada, Lukas Giolito, and Tim Anderson. Tim Anderson would be a fun pick, but he has that 88 Player of the Month already. Lukas Alito, I'm pretty sure, has a Gold Player of the Month, and Yohan Moncada hasn't really received any love. And Yohan Moncada definitely has had a better year. So I'm going to go with Yohan Moncada here. Switch hitting card. I think he'd be a fun one to use. Not really one that I'm like, out of my mind excited for, but just the fact that Tim Anderson already has a Player of the Month, Lukas Alito has that Gold Player of the Month. Moncada hasn't gotten anything, so I'm going to go ahead and go with Yohan. Indians, we've got Carlos Santana, Brad Hand, and Francisco Lindor. Santana just got the Tops Now card, so I'm going to go ahead and pass on him. Brad Hand, a lefty, would be really nice for a bullpen arm, and then Lindor. This is just going to be, my own pick. I'm going with Lindor, man. I would love to see another finest Lindor. He was amazing last year. The switch hitting shortstop with diamond defense, it's too good of a card to pass up. I would love to pick Brad Hand right here, but I got to go with Lindor, man. The Detroit Tigers, I'll be honest with you, I really don't care, so Matthew Boyd, you got it from me, man. I'm sorry to any Tigers fans, but that's probably the most boring vote next to maybe the Marlins. I don't know. It is. Let's be real here. I mean, it's Matthew Boyd. Who cares? The Royals, we've got Whit Merrifield, Hunter Dozier, and Jorge Soler. Jorge Soler with the 40-plus home run season. He just got that Player of the Month, though, with insane power. I don't really feel like we need another one. Hunter Dozier, he has that Player of the Month card, but I feel like that Player of the Month card doesn't really reflect how he's hitting now. I feel like he's kind of a little bit more balanced now. But I got to go with Whit Merrifield, man. Whit Merrifield has been one of the most consistent hitters, especially in that Royals lineup. I think the guy on the stream made it a good point. You don't realize how good of a player Whit Merrifield is until he's on your team and you watch him every day. He's not going to make the highlight reel every day, but he's going to come in day out and get the job done. So I'm going with Whit Merrifield. Last but not least, we've got the Twins, Mitch Garver, Taylor Rogers, or Jorge Polanco. I'm not going to go with Polanco because he has a diamond already. Taylor Rogers and Mitch Garver are both gold cards. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with Mitch Garver, dude. I love the fact that he's another hitting catcher in the game. His power on his live series is ridiculous. Taylor Rogers would be a great lefty to have. He'd be a nice BR pick here and there, but I think I would rather just have Mitch Garver and have more fun hitting with him. All right, moving on to the West, we've got the Astros, George Springer, Yordan Alvarez, and Jose Altuve. All three of them have a diamond card in the game right now, so this one, I can go either way. My gut's telling me Yordan Alvarez, just another card with the lefty pop he has, especially against right-handed pitching. He's so electric with the bat. I love watching him swing it. My second pick would be Springer, because Springer is just a great outfielder. He's a lot of fun to watch. He's usually pretty good in the playoffs. Like 2017, he had that MVP in the World Series. It's a hard pick, but I gotta go Yordan. He's just been the most fun to watch for me. The Angels, we've got David Fletcher, Hansel Robles, and Shohei Ohtani. No Mike Trout. I don't believe Mike Trout will be getting a finest, just because I do think that he will be getting a signature series, which may actually be coming out sooner than we think. I feel like Ramon unknowingly might have given away that Mike Trout is a signature team's reward. I'll talk about that in a later video, but for me right now, I think easily Ohtani is going to win this vote. But honestly, for me, I'm going Fletch. I'm going David Fletcher, man. Ohtani already has his diamond in the game, and he's still just going to be a hitter. He's not going to be a pitcher. Fletcher's the man. I love David Fletcher. He can do a lot of different things on the infield, so I'm going to go with David here. Next up, the Oakland A's. We've got Matt Olson, Matt Chapman, and Marcus Semien. I do think Matt Chapman will win this vote, but personally, I'm going to go with Matt Olson. I just think he'd be a fun card to use. I'm thinking more of like a BR card, a big diamond left-handed bat with a lot of power and pretty damn good defense at first base. He could be a man. I do think Chapman's going to win the vote, though. I think he's the most popular pick here. His defense at third is probably going to be 99. He's going to be a beast, but I would be voting for Matt Olson. The Mariners, kind of another boring pick here. I really don't care all that much, but I kind of want to go with Vogelback. He's got that Gold Player of the Month, who is an amazing BR card that you could hit at the top of your order, but I think if you gave him a diamond, he's just that much more enticing. So I'm going to go with Vogelback. Seager already got a Tops Now diamond, and I don't really care that much about Marco Gonzalez, so I'm going with Daniel. And the final team from the American League, the Texas Rangers, we've got Danny Santana, Lance Lynn, and Mike Minor. I believe Danny Santana has a Player of the Month, Lance Lynn has a Player of the Month, and I don't know if Mike Minor has one or not. He might have a Tops Now. I can't remember off the top of my head. But but I think I'm going to go with Mike Minor, an older pitcher that's, doing pretty well this year. Lance Lynn probably been the best pitcher on the Rangers, I would say. But I'm going to go with Mike Minor. Once again, not the most exciting pick right there, but that's just who I'm going with. So that's the American League for you. Moving over to the NL, we're starting it off with the Braves in the East. Now, you probably can tell Acuna is not listed here. Probably a lock that he's going to get a card. I mean, he's almost 40-40. Come on, of course he's going to get a card. Ozzie Albies, Mike Soroka, and Max Fried. I'm going to go with Soroka, man. I think Soroka's had an amazing year. He's holding down the pitching for them. I'm going to go with him. I think he needs a better card in the game. Ozzie would probably be my second pick just because of the switch hitting second baseman. I'm going to go with Soroka, though. Just I want that card in the game. For the Marlins, we've got Garrett Cooper, Bryan Anderson, and Jorge Alfaro. Really don't care very much. I'm going to go with Bryan Anderson. I think he's the best player in that pool, so boom, there you go. The New York Mets, I don't really know which way I want to go on this one. I'm leaning towards Jeff McNeil, but they've got Seth Lugo and Michael Conforto. I'm just thinking of, players I would like to use when I'm playing BR or something, and Michael Conforto would be a nice left-handed bat with good power, but I don't know if I'd like using a diamond round on him, but I'm going to go with Jeff McNeil. Seth Lugo already has a diamond, I think a player of the month, so I'm going to go Jeff McNeil, one of the best hitters for contact and average in the National League, so I'm going to go with him. The Phillies, we've got Hector Neris, Bryce Harper, and Aaron Nola. Kind of a weird pick right here. First instinct, I want to go with Aaron Nola because he's the only guy in this choice who doesn't have a diamond. Bryce Harper has his live series as well as his MVP card, and then Neris has the Player of the Month diamond, which is an 87. So I kind of want to go with Nola just off that regard, but I do think it'd be fun to have another Harper. I just don't know how good it would be. So I'm going to go with Nola. I'm going to go with Aaron Nola. Even though he didn't have nearly as good of a season as he did last year where he had a finest, I just think it'd be more fun to get a diamond Aaron Nola versus guys who have 3 diamonds between the two of them. So I'm going to go with Aaron Nola here. JT is probably going to get a finest as a lock, I would assume. And the final team for the National League East is the Washington Nationals. And my God, the disrespect. How is Anthony Rendon not a lock? What? The dude has had his best year. I know the MVP is probably going to come down to Yelich or Bellinger or possibly even Acuna with the 40-40 talk. But what does Anthony Rendon have to do to get noticed by mainstream baseball fans? Bro, he's one of the best players in the game, not one of the best third basemen, one of the best players. He needs, I'm honestly, I think it's an insult that he's not a lock. All right, moving over to the Central, we've got the Cubs, Anthony Rizzo, Chris Bryant, and Wilson Contreras. None of these guys really excite me all that much about a card they could have in the game, but if I had to choose, I would probably go Chris Bryant. I think he'd be the most fun card to use. Rizzo would probably be second to get a nice lefty in there, but I'm going to go Chris Bryant. You can play third, you can play left. I'm going to go with him. Now, this one is surprising too. The fact that Suarez doesn't have a finest locked in. The dude has 48 home runs. How? I don't get it, man. I feel like Suarez needs a juice diamond. I think he should be a lock. Aquino would be great, too. He got that tops now. Sonny Gray, I believe, got a tops now as well. I'm going with Suarez, man. 48 home runs. I think he should have been a lock in the first place. The Milwaukee Brewers, obviously, Christian Yelich, going to be a lock. He was left off this list. We've got Grandal, Moustakas, and Keston Hiura. I think I'm going to go Yasmani Grandal just because last year he had a Player of the Month, which was a diamond. Was it a Player of the Month? I think it was. Yeah, I think it was a Player of the Month card, and he was amazing. A switch-hitting catcher with big power. That's incredible. He has no speed, but he's going to be great. I'm going with Yasmani. The Pirates. Somebody left off this list. Josh Bell, Starling Marte, and Bryan Reynolds. For me, this is an easy pick. Bryan Reynolds has that Player of the Month card. He's good in BR, especially against lefties. Josh Bell has the Lightning. I got to go Starling Marte right here. He's only 1 point off of being a live series diamond anyway, but I think he needs some love. I'm going to go Starling Marte. And the final pick from the Central is going to be the Cardinals, Colton Wong, Giovanni Gallegos, and Jack Flaherty. For me personally, I'm going to go Flaherty. I know he just got that good Tops Now card, or I'm sorry, the good Player of the Month card, but I think he deserves a lot better than what he got. I don't think Nicholas Castellanos should have beat him out for the last Player of the Month. So I feel like Jack Flaherty needs to get some respect. No disrespect to Colton Wong or Giovanni. They both are having really good years, but I will 100% stick by Jack Flaherty. He's my pick. In the final division, we've got the NL West. Eduardo Escobar, Ketel Marte, and Archie Bradley from the Diamondbacks. This one's kind of hard. I want to go Marte, but he does already have the Tops Now. Screw it, I'm going with him. I know I've been using that argument for and against guys, but I just feel like I would have personally the most fun using Ketel Marte, so I'm going to go with him. Colorado Rockies, we've got Nolan Arenado, surprisingly not a lock. Some of these guys who are not locks doesn't make any sense to me. Arenado, Scott Oberg, or Trevor Story. I got to go Arenado. Similar to Rendon, like, he's having his best season. You could say whatever you want about the Coors Field effect. The dude can hit. He just, straight up, he can hit. He's not going to get paid whatever, like that huge contract he got paid if he can't hit. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going Arenado. Los Angeles Dodgers. Cody Bellinger obviously left off this list. He's probably going to get a lock for a finest. So we've got Ryu, Turner, and Muncy. I think I'm going to go Justin Turner here just because the other two guys have diamonds, and I'd like to kind of mix it up a little bit. I love Max Muncy. That All-Star card is ridiculously good, one of the best budget cards you can get in this entire game. And then Hyunjin Ryu, I just don't feel like a lot of people would even use him if he did get the diamond, so I'm going to go Justin Turner. The Padres are an easy pick for me, man. Fernando Tatis Jr. is just so electric. One of the most fun guys to watch in the entire league. I need to see this guy with a finest card. No disrespect to Machado or Paddock. Both of them, you know, are good players and everything, but Tatis is just amazing. I want to see him with a finest. Last but not least, we've got the San Francisco Giants. We got Kevin Pillar, Will Smith, and Mike Yastrzemski. Personally, I want to go with Will Smith, but I think most people are probably going to vote for Yaz. And Kevin Pillar deserves some love too. He was a great pickup for the Giants, so I'm going to go with Will Smith just because that's who I want to vote for. So those are my 30 picks right there. I'm going to go ahead and submit my vote. Yes, okay, and boom. My vote is submitted. Down in the comments, let me know who you guys voted for. I appreciate anybody that watched this video. Tell me why I'm stupid and why I voted for somebody over somebody else, all that stuff. I can take it. Just let me know down in the comments. But drop a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.